Hello, ladies and gentlemen. In this playlist, we're going to try and dive into understanding how to solve multi-step equations. The tricky thing is, multi-step equations are a very deep subject. And as a result, we're going to need to take a lot of eensy-weensy baby steps to get us to that area. Our first baby step today is called the property of equality. So let's dive in. The property of equality is actually a pretty intuitive idea, and it revolves around equations. But I think the best way to understand the property of equality is first by taking a real-world example. And that real-world example is a seesaw. Most of us have seen seesaws, and if we haven't seen seesaws like in real life, we've likely seen them depicted in cinema or in cartoons of some nature. If you're unfamiliar with a seesaw, basically it is a flat piece of wood on a fulcrum like this, and as one side is weighed down, let's say I put like a 5-pound weight on this side, as one side is weighed down, the lever falls below like that, lifting the other side up until some sort of weight is put on the other side, and that brings it back down, brings everything back down to the center, like so. If there is more weight on one side, so I erase that again. If there's more weight on one side, the lever will go and look like this. If there's more weight on the other side, the lever will weigh down on the other side like that. But if there is an equal amount of weight on both sides, the lever, that little piece of wood, will stay perfectly balanced, perfectly flat. And this is the way we want our equations to be, because that's what equations are. Equations are essentially little balances. They're saying this side is equal to that side. And that's true, right? 5 is equal to 5. If I were to add 5 pounds onto one side, I would need to add 5 pounds to the other to make sure both sides stay equal, stay balanced. In the same vein, if I took away 5 pounds from one side, in order to keep everything flat without the seesaw moving at all, I need to take away 5 on the other side. That way things stay balanced, things stay equal. Equal equation. Now, it doesn't matter if my 5-pound weight on one side is a circle and my 5-pound weight on the other side is a triangle. It doesn't matter if they look different. Only thing that matters is if they weigh the same. So let's apply that to equations here. This equation is like a little seesaw. The equals sign right here is our fulcrum. It's our point where the lever goes up and down. Right now, with this equal sign, we are saying that these numbers on the left-hand side are equal to the numbers on the right-hand side. Meaning, even though they look different, even though I've got a triangle over here and a circle over here, even though they look different, really on the inside, they both weigh the same amount. And let's prove that to be true. 4 plus 7 is 11 minus 3 equals 3 plus 5. 11 minus 3 is 8, and 5 plus 3 is 8. So there you go, just to prove it, that even though they look different on the outside, one has 3 terms, one has 2, they both weigh 8. These sides of the equation are equal. Equation, that's the whole point of an equation. So what's the property of equality? Well, the property of equality is simply what we were doing up here on this seesaw. Let's say I added 5 to this right-hand equation, 3 plus 5. Let's say I added 5 to that. Well, if I wanted to keep my seesaw balanced, if I'm adding 5 pounds to one side, I need to add 5 pounds to the other. And you'll see, if I add 5 pounds to both sides, let's see what happens. 9 plus 7 minus 3. Excuse me. Equals 8 plus 5. Okay, let's see if that's true. 9 plus 7 is 16 minus 3. Does that equal 13? 8 plus 5? Yes, it does. 13 equals 13. So look, the property of equality is simply saying this. If I add the same amount, if I change one side of the equation and I change the other side of the equation in the exact same way, I'm going to make sure that my equation stays balanced, stays flat. Now the numbers will be different. It won't be 8 equals 8. This is 13 equals 13. But what's important is that it stays equal. Let me show you that again with another number. Instead of adding, let's subtract. Let's see what happens when we subtract numbers. Let's subtract, I don't know. I don't want to use 5 again. We'll subtract 3. It's going to be kind of a hard squeeze, but we'll put it right there. Okay, 4 plus 7 is 11 minus 3 is equal to 3 plus 5 minus 3 is 2, so 5. 11 minus 3 is 8, so this becomes 8 minus 3 equals 3 plus 2, which is 5. And lo and behold, look at that. 5 equals 5, just like clockwork, just like magic. That's all the property of equality is, ladies and gentlemen. If there's one thing you get from this, hear this out right now. The property of equality simply means that whatever change I make to one side of the equation, I need to make to the other side of the equation. If I make the same change to both sides of the equation, everything will stay balanced. That's the property of equality. We're going to use that to do amazing things, but that's all you need to know for this video. I'll see you in the next one where we start to use the property of equality to be useful. Until then, ta-ta for now.